Are we about to have our very first disqualification for the season? Is it a disqualification or just strikes? Would it be a warning? Would Big Brother even address this? That, my people, is the question a lot of viewers and fans of the Big Brother Naija show has been asking ever since the incident that occurred tonight between Rooboy and Zita. They went physical, guys. Like, it's crazy. I mean, how this whole situation escalated from just, conversations to this. Honestly, I cannot comprehend it. Well, it's been a very heated day in Big Brother's house, issues here and there. And before we talk about the Root Boy and Zita situation, let me give you guys an update or a rundown of the various situations, the heated moments that happened in Big Brother's house today. Let's start with Faith versus the whole house. Now, how it became Faith versus the whole house is also very confusing to me, because I actually thought initially it was Faith and Jason that were complaining that the noise the other housemates were making were extreme and too much. Now, also, it's also confusing because I think at some point Faith was part of the noise making until, they were asked to go do their sip and paint at the garden, the second team, and then this whole thing escalated and everybody was breathing down Faith's neck to the extent that Faith had to take the wager ideas that he had written for his team and he tore it. Now, was it for his team or for the collaboration? Because the day before, Jason had met him so that they will collaborate together, the both teams, and perform together. So whichever team wins, it's fine. And he tore it to shreds. He let them know he is the foundation of Big Brother's house. Without him, you cannot win any tags. I'm like, talk about cockiness. Now, when I saw that whole situation unfold, what was on my mind was, I thought Jason too was complaining about this thing. Why only Faith? Now, I do believe and I also do agree that Faith's manner of approach can be really annoying. But then I also have an issue with this housemate picking and choosing who they are going to be attacking. Meanwhile, when it's two people that actually complain about the same thing. Now, I think their issue with Faith is the fact that he doesn't mellow or form fake humility and or whatnot, and for them they cannot stand it. So my people, that was the first issue that happened, the first basketballs, the first heated moment that happened today in Big Brother's house. And ever since that issue happened, Faith had decided to turn to deaf and dumb. He went mute. Yeah, he's not talking. The only time, I don't even know if we heard him talk during the Smirnoff tags. I do not think so. Now, that being said, the second basketballs or heated moment that happened in Big Brother's house, in fact, that was the one that led up to Zita having a face-off or going physical with Rooboy. Now, in the arena, Team Original were, of course, winning. They won their first round. Then the second round, they were leading. Now it was time for Team Double Black, which is the team that has Mide, Rooboy, Faith. Who else was on that team? Kola. Is there any other person that I'm forgetting? Yeah, they were the ones on that team. So it was time for them to perform. And Kola was the one that went to pick the cans for them to identify. And I think Imisi said something along the lines of, oh, calm down. Oh, I even forgot. Before that issue, Kola and Imisi had fought. What exactly is going on in Big Brother's house? People are just fighting anyhow. So Kola and Imisi had a fight because Kola has said that, Imisi should not be bothered because she is sure, or he is sure that she's going to win, she's covered. And Imisi was like, what the hell? Stop saying that, you're putting me in trouble. This is the same thing you said about Joanna and Thelma, and look at how they were evicted. Now, this whole thing had come up because Kola was agitated because the red telephone rang and Queen had picked it up, and he thought that Queen was given the power to evict somebody. What he doesn't know is that Queen's telephone conversation was all about making a deal with Agent X to let them view or see their families or receive messages from home, right? But Kola was really agitated and he was talking about it, talking to Mide, talking to Imisi, and at some point, he said what he said. Imisi was pissed, and then their voices went up and Kola was pissed. So they carried that animosity or whatever beef and got into the Smirnoff hat. And knowing that that had happened, Imisi now telling Kola to calm down. Of course, that pissed off his teammates, that is Mide and Co, and they were like, she was distracting them. At the end of that particular round of the game, they got fewer cans, and even in the cans that they got, Big Brother had to deduct I think 2 or so, and Mide was like, you are the reason why this had happened. Now when the other team Pineapple, went to do that very same task, the same team Double Black, the ones that were complaining that Imisi from Team Original were distracting them, now started trying to distract K-Bobo on purpose. In fact, it was so glaring that Zita had to tell them, shut the F up. And I think some other person in that team, I think it was Sultana, that also told them to shut the F up. In fact, at the end of that particular round, Big Brother had to call Rooboy out to stop doing that. Now, that had happened. Already everywhere is tense. People were pissed. Isabella, Mide. Like, I actually thought it was going to be a showdown between Mide and Imisi, or Isabella and Imisi. Little did I know it's going to be between Zita and Rooboy. Now, when they got into the house after the tags, after, Team Original have been declared winners, then Zita, Rooboy, and Kola were sitting in the dining area, and the whole conversation about apologizing came up. Now, Zita was telling Rooboy that what he did wasn't right. Rooboy and Kola were trying to say, oh, the other team, that is Team Original, did it first. And Zita was telling them that, see, what Team Original did to them was quite minute compared to what Team Double Black had done to Team Pineapple. And Rooboy was like, well, they did it first. Both Rooboy and Kola, they were like trying to say, oh, they did it first. They tried to use different analogies. And Zita was like, see, the fact that somebody had done something wrong and you went ahead to do that same thing does not absolve you of the blame. What they did was more. You two, you now did plenty one. That was how the whole argument about apologies came up. Now, Zita was telling him, you did not apologize to us. And Rooboy was like, I apologized to you guys. And Zita was like, when did you apologize? You did not apologize. Then Rooboy was like, I apologize to Sultana, I apologize to K-Bobo, I apologize to Manson, and that was where Zita lost it. Zita was like, I was the one that told you to shut the F up. I was part of that team. You apologized to every other person, and you did not apologize to me. See, do not get me pissed. And Rooboy was like, if I get you angry, what are you going to do? And before we could say Jack Robinson, that was how the hot bowl of Indomie that she was eating landed on Rooboy's face. And Rooboy, as if it's some kind of, what's that thing they call it? Like when somebody just reacts, what's that? There's something they call it, in that swift reaction, Rooboy just flinged his hand on her. I think it's on her face or on her shoulder. I don't know which one, but his hand landed on her body, and yeah. That was it. Isabella was there. Oh, Zita, why did you pour Indomie on his face? And Kola was like, oh, Zita, you do not try. La, 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 la. I'm like, all of you should shut up. Shut up. The deed has been done. And I think Rooboy went to knock on Big Brother's door. Of course, Big Brother will not talk to you. Then he had now went to wash off his face, and then his pool party started. Now, the question is, should that be a strike? Double strikes, or should that be a disqualification? Now, this is what I think. If it was a no-lose-gas season or any other season before now, I would call for a disqualification, not just of Zita, but of Rooboy, because yes, Zita had, done the first action, which was also a reaction to a provocation by words. When you're telling somebody, if I try it, what are you going to do? You are provoking the person, as we have seen over time in Big Brother's rule book. Previous seasons. Now also, Rooboy also had hit her, which is a no-no anywhere. So both of them, if it were other seasons, I would say both of them should go home. But because it's this season, where Big Brother has packed a lot of things under the rug. He has swept a lot of things under the rug this season. We've had somebody pour spit on somebody. We've had somebody pour contents of a pot on somebody. We've even had Zita at the beginning with Mide's situation. We've had a lot of instances that disqualification would have come into play, but Big Brother, they don't say anything. In fact, the only time Big Brother had reacted was when he gave 2 strikes to Brett Morgan for shoving, what's his name? Faith. Now, going by the precedents that Big Brother has already set this season, I'd say, nah. Disqualification, 2 strikes, yes, to calm their body down. But then again, Big Brother is not me and I am not Big Brother. But I'm just saying, because of what he has already shown us, that this season is everything goes. People are speaking their native dialects without any form of punishment. Kola is every day whispering that got Erica and Kid Wire strikes. Even Saga in his own season got strikes because of whispering. He was even played on the screen because he was whispering. Like, these are things that in other seasons were punished, or attracted punishment, but this season it did not. So if Big Brother has, laid his bed, then I think at this point he should sleep on it. By the way, it's just like what? How many days and a week to the end of the show? I think the best he can do is to evict them, plan an eviction and evict them. Yeah, because he had already told us that, okay, he wants drama by any means, so I do not think that they should be disqualified. But that being said, isn't it crazy that these housemates always let their emotions get the best of them? Like, Ebuka actually told them, yes, it's 2 weeks to the end of the show. He said that on Sunday, but a lot can be lost in 2 weeks. Heck, a lot can be lost in a second, in a minute. If you think I'm lying, go ask those people that are living in, on the island. See how flood has destroyed their cars and their properties in just what, a day. But this housemate don't listen. Like, this is crunch time. This is the time where you just have to be most careful so as not to do something stupid. I remember when my Tacha was disqualified. Tacha was disqualified at the tail end of the show. Day 89. The show was what, 90 days? 90 something days. Yeah. In fact, I don't even want to remember that. So I think these housemates, they just don't listen. The pressure is so high now, and I feel like instead of them to just relax and enjoy, they're still bantering, and I don't even know what they're trying to prove. Yes, guys, it's a serious situation that happened. Nobody, should be throwing anything at anybody, pouring anything at anybody, throwing hands at anybody. It should not be allowed. But why I insist that they should not be disqualified is because Big Brother has shown us in his past judgments that he actually rates drama over maybe their personal security or something of that sort. I do not know. But let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comment section. Do you think that they should be disqualified, or do you think that they should get double strikes? On that note, I would like to say a very big thank you to you all for being part of my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Until I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Ezinnemwilliams. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day ahead.